There we go, guys.
In the bottom left, in the yellow, representing the Night Elves and Russia, it is Neutron. And the top right, the German champion, unchallenged in his country, now seeing what Europe has to offer. It is XlorD.
And look at that hat on Neutron. To me, he's already won. If he has the nerves of wearing this during an important match like this. It looks like we might be seeing, I'm guessing, what is going to be a Demon Hunter. And yeah, Neutron known for his Demon into Naga, just bear play. And I feel like that little stint that he had playing FFA for a while, because he played a lot of it, he became a pretty good player in free-for-all. I think it made him better in solo as well. Like he understood how to use upkeep better. He understood the true value of Shredders. And I really think that since then, he's improved a lot in solo as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Even before that, I remember he loved going for a Shredder always. Can be a little dangerous if you're going for a hold at the expansion, you need the resources, but the longer the game goes, the more helpful it certainly does become. Acolyte Scout here, this is looking as standard can be. XlorD with a few ghouls, probably 4 or 5, going into Fiends then.
Oh, the Archer gonna snare too far.
Came up with.
You're gonna snare too far to attack the creeps.
Nice, fine.
Yeah, he lost a lot of time. Then the Acolyte against the snare, so that's a little bit of extra experience. Yeah, always nice.
Gonna get him to level 2 a little bit closer. Normally it's the green into the High Priest. And then with that, that should be enough to, yeah, get the level up. Ring of Protection on the Demon Hunter, not too bad. He's gonna be the solo frontline tank for quite some time. I feel like Night Elves, no matter what they find here, can be satisfied at that first camp.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big fan of the rings, as you know. I still think like damage is always better here to find. But it will give him a little bit of extra tankiness, I guess. But in this case, the Death Knights, I mean, they're just gonna do the dance, right? For now, like nothing's gonna really happen. Like, do you even want to start a camp? I guess if you're the Demon Hunter, you just have to burn the Death Knight up until it's got 0 mana. Then you can start creeping again.
Yeah, this is, I guess, the goal here for XlorD. Slow down the Demon Hunter. Get some levels in yourself at some point to level 2, but if possible, delay level 3, because then the Demon Hunter can really take over the mid game. And this map, it's not like it's extremely good for creeping level 3, but it's also not the worst. There's a few small camps the Night Elf can take, even without Ancient of War. With the DK starting off without any creeping. This is something we used to see in the past, years ago, where the DK would always instant harass, both against Night Elf and against Human. And more recently, then, they started creeping up more, but especially against Night Elf, this instant harass has become popular again on some maps. Trying to steal last hit or item here doesn't quite work out. The Demon does get level 2. As we look into XlorD's base, there's 4 ghouls, and then Fiends will be coming. That is what we were expecting. But yeah, still 0 experience on this DK.
Yeah, usually when you would see a Death Knight with Unholy Aura first, which is smart to do against the Demon Hunter, yeah, there'd be a lot of ghouls running around trying to kill archers, but now because he's playing Fiend, it feels like really awkward. And for the longest time, XlorD is not going to have any experience. He does spot the Tree of Life, but because he's already going into like the first Fiend, he can be like, okay, I'll just make ghouls and then attack and get a cancel. Also, it's in a pretty good location, I feel, from Neutron. Yeah. You're kind of safe. If you had to go all the way down there and then somehow you wouldn't get the cancel, that'd be pretty bad for you. So XlorD maybe will try for a timing when the tree is moving to the expansion, where he would have like 2 or 3 Fiend and maybe Naga second.
Trying to pull the Merc camp. Doesn't work, though. Still don't quite understand the interactions. Like, ghouls and footmen you can send in. They don't get ensnared, but it's, acolytes and skeletons do for some reason. Don't quite know why.
They do. I think everything gets ensnared. It depends like how you pull it or how close you get.
Not sure about that. Maybe we're gonna have to do a boot camp on it someday. But yeah, this is the weakness of that strat early. There's very little that can aggressively be done by the undead because you can't bring the ghouls. You have to get them or have to use them for the lumber. So fast expansion like this can work out. But now with the Naga coming in, XlorD finally has some aggressive potential. Takes out 1 archer here. And of course, Neutron has to respond with his own Naga. So now the question is, can he cancel it or not?
Ooh. He actually missed one of the skeletons. You would think that if you're a Night Elf and you have a Demon Hunter and Naga, you can just click down on that Naga, but there's Unholy Aura and Boot of Speed, so good luck catching up to that one.
Yeah. Not really gonna happen. If a demon was level 3, he could pressure this Naga very well, but he's not, as he was getting pressured so heavily. So now XlorD's thought is, okay, I can't cancel the expansion, I suppose, but I can still try to kill archers over here. Another dust used, another archer taken out. That's 2 archers now dead, but the Demon Hunter is still around, chasing the Naga perhaps a little too far instead of putting damage on the Fiends. But the expansion is walking over. Of course, Neutron has to stay Tier 2, I was about to say, but no, he's actually going Tier 3. Okay, not going with a Dryad attempt, but rather trying to go Tier 3, perhaps Triple Hero, and Marksmanship.
I'm really surprised he didn't grab Boots here. That would have helped him so much chasing this army away, even though there is an Holy Aura. Like now, this Demon Hunter just can never catch up. But yeah, very fast Tier 3 here. He had 3 archers, and he started Tier 3 while expanding. Like, this is as greedy as it gets.
Yeah. And I guess because of that, he can't really afford the boots. If he does want to throw in Tier 3 as well, that 250 gold, probably something you can't afford to spend elsewhere. I still feel like boots with a strong demon, a bit more creeping, and then Dryads on Tier 2 to back up this expansion can work, but the downside is, if you're stuck on Dryads, then even an Undead on 1 base, if the heroes are strong enough, can be too hard to overcome. Very little creeping here so far. XlorD, in fact, still only level 1. Still wants to pressure the expansion, but yeah, Neutron, I think he should be able to get it.
Yeah, XlorD's sticking around because he knows that as soon as Neutron goes back down here, he's gonna creep the Expo and take it. I think Neutron probably could just brute force creep that Expo and fight at the same time if he just brings enough wisps to repair the tree. So he's just chasing with the 2 heroes right now. This is very well done. While he's creeping the Expo with the tree and the archers, he needs to make sure he doesn't finish the creeps with the hits. Okay, that's good. Gets the Magi.
Yeah, that's indeed very nicely done here. Still forcing the heroes away. And what's XlorD's response going to be is the question. Pretty much always when the opponent expands, especially when it's early, you have the chance of either all-in pushing it or counter-expanding. And as Tier 3 is finishing, both options are available, but a counter-expansion would certainly take a long time. Perhaps too long. Perhaps XlorD feels that he's going to be forced to all-in push. For that, you want ideally to have some good hero levels. Not exactly the case, but neither is it for Neutron. But XlorD's in a difficult position. If he falls back now to finally start creeping with his Lich and everything, he knows Neutron will just creep up heavily as well. And especially the Merc camp, it's going to be very beneficial.
This is unusual to see an Undead creep as little as XlorD has so far. But yeah, he does feel like he needs to now. He needs a little bit of extra gold, actually. Even not just the experience. It's kind of weird. I feel like maybe XlorD has been watching Krolu stream or something, because he's usually the one player that creeps nothing and keeps attacking.
Wait, isn't Krolu Orc?
Yeah.
Huh.
That doesn't mean he can creep anything, apparently. Because he just attacks 24/7.
Big mana for the DK. That is very good indeed. Neutron didn't feel bold enough to go for the Merc camp, creeping that without Ancient of War, not something he wants to do. Ancient of War couldn't be moved to creep anything because that single Ancient of War is just non-stop pumping out archers, and now also Marksmanship. Gonna add in a lot more damage. We have only a single frontline tank, that is the Demon, which means he definitely needs an invul, and probably a few heal pots as well. He's at the shop now, hoping for that big invul potion. Well, I want to say big heal potion, but he gets the big invul, which is also nice. Very nice.
Double staff would be good, I think, on Demon as well, to make sure he can come back quickly in the fights. And he goes for an Ancient of Wind behind it. What the... What is that for? Fairy Dragons? Maybe some talents? He already has so many archers with a ton of damage. Instead of going for a lot of upgrades, I mean, he still can afford a few upgrades. He has the Huntress Hole. Maybe just add a few talents. We'll see.
The Demon isn't level 3 yet. That's a real problem. Oftentimes with the strat, you also see a Bottom Third. But we don't see that here. Only Demon, Archers, and Naga to deal with this Tier 3 Undead push with A-Bomb, with soon-to-be Disease Cloud, and Frenzy Ghouls. Not going to be an easy hold.
He's getting level 3 before going for the defense. That's super smart. But yeah, XlorD 49 supply, Neutron 46. Can he get the hold here? The Town Caller is on the Naga, actually.
With the Fog Lightning and just waiting for that Nova. Nice Wisps coming out for the Detonate, doing a good job, draining a lot of mana. Still hasn't used the Nova, very surprisingly. Demon Hunter burned a lot of this mana as well on the Undead side. Book of the Dead into the Archers in the back. Very good position. No Wisps here to Detonate, and he gets the Surround as well on the Naga. Has to TP her out. Now the Wisps come back in for more Detonate. but the skeletons are being moved away. Nicely done by XlorD, and that first engagement definitely goes to the German.
Yeah, Neutron pulled all of the wisp that he had inside of the gold mine here. Now he's back at it. Predator mana on the Death Knight, still very worrying for Neutron. Archers come back in. First Talon is now just came out. He's gonna snipe the tree and get out. XlorD with sufficient damage. And he's just, it feels like he's really far ahead now. All XlorD has to do is creep, level up his Tri Hero, and he's just gonna be in a really good spot.
Yeah, playing it super safe there, TPing out. I think he could have even tried to take a fight, especially considering he had lots of coils still to use. But he did what he came for, he killed the expansion. And now XlorD can just counter-expand if he wants. Now he's not on the clock anymore. He could just go up to 2 bases himself if he wants, but he's not doing that. He's going to continue creeping, which of course is also valuable. And he's getting big level ups here soon. Getting 3-3-3 on his triple hero is going to be very, very powerful indeed, whereas Neutron's dual hero won't scale as much as the opponent's one.
I guess a good item, the Warsong Battle Drums here are going to help a lot. With the attack net damage increased by 10%. But yeah, XlorD's Tri Hero is looking super scary. And these abominations, like how do you counter? I mean, Talents are nice, but it feels like you would need some chimps, but there is already a lot of fiends. Especially with what we didn't see enough of yesterday. The Disease Cloud.
We both got kind of triggered, didn't we? It was in fact this map where Krav went for it way too late. But XlorD this time super early, 1 A-bomb into Disease Cloud can be extremely effective against units with low HP or low regen. In the case of archers, it's both is the case. Night Elf units during daytime have no natural health regeneration, and that can become very painful indeed against Disease Cloud.
He's actually gonna go for it. Demon's already in position. I mean, the Death Knight has 300 mana, so that's quite a few burns you need to get off to really empty that guy. Goes for the first one. Okay, defensive coil, that means Demon won't take too much damage here in the first place. There's a lot of consumable items here. Demon Hunter with a Potion of Health, the big invuln, and Naga also has an invuln and a healing scroll.
Burning the statues, certainly also worthwhile. Limiting the regen here that's going to be available. Destroyer form, by the way, is coming in against Fairy Fire, and I think more so XlorD afraid that perhaps Cyclone might be coming. And against that, he definitely would need Destroyers. Do we have that by any chance coming? Nope, just Adept training for now. So Cyclone is still far away.
Yeah, imagine if you don't have Destroyers and these 2 A-bombs get Cyclones. That would be pretty bad. Of course, it lasts way longer on units than it does on heroes. But yeah, XlorD covering all of his bases here, making sure he doesn't make a giant mistake. You always have to ask yourself that question when you're doing well in a game like this. What would be the one thing that would give me the most trouble now? And he probably did that and realized, okay, if he was to go for Master Talents, that could be tricky for me to face.
Oh, that Nova Coil and Fog Lightning quickly finding 3 kills. The Demon with the anti-magic could stay in the front line for quite some time, but that one is going to run out very soon. He's low HP already. Invul is protecting him. It's so hard with these archers. I mentioned it over and over to get the right fight position. If you have to fall back, you're in trouble right away. They're so slow compared to the undead army. A-bombs being microed back. Naga with the invul here will hold on a little bit longer. Some fiends being taken out, but it's about the heroes. It's mostly about the heroes, and the Naga gets killed by the crepes. Rock Golem comes in with the Hurl Boulder, and guess what? The Demon's getting surrounded as well. It's a big invul. It's going to take some time for that one to run out, but I think there's no way he can fight out of this. Maybe he can kill an A-bomb, but the surround still sticks. It's even a level 4 now. Oh, maybe he can actually. Yeah, forces the burrow, might be able to get away. What he wouldn't give for a mana potion and a coil now doesn't get that kill. Demon escapes, but boy oh boy. The rest of the army suffered in the meantime. So many archers and talons going down, and the Naga bench and the Expo might be falling again.
If there were any doubts that this Rock Golem was a fight or flight type, I think we all know now that if he sees a street fight, he's just going to jump right in. And yeah, that was pretty unfortunate here for Neutron. I do think that the Naga probably would have died regardless, but he's trying to get the defense now. Destroyer going to get targeted. These archers only have +1 attack, so they're not doing as much damage as if they had gotten more upgrades, but that's because of XlorD's tremendous amount of pressure the entire game, lowering the army count of Neutron, keeping him down this entire time. And it looks like XlorD's about to seal the deal here.
Indeed he is. GG is called 1-0 for the German champion.
Ooh, I feel this was a lot better by Neutron than we've seen in summer. Was pretty competitive, was pretty creative, trying to make the talents work. We've seen that from time to time from, I think Remind was the one trying to introduce it, but he tried with definitely fewer archers and a Cyclone Rush, so a variety of that strategy. I think in theory this can work, but definitely not if you lose your expansion and never go to Master.
Yeah, it was, I think, just perfect timings from XlorD. Like that big timing when he hit with Tri-Hero on the expansion, he had actually more supply than Neutron for a little bit. He had like 49 against 46, so Neutron never really could get started as well as he wanted because of the harass the entire game. By the way, can we call XlorD the Meisterschaft? Because he won the Meisterschaft, or does that not apply? Is the Meisterschaft just the name of the tournament?
Yeah, that's like the championship. So we would be calling him the championship, which is kind of weird.
Okay, because we did that with TLO in the past in StarCraft. Like Nathanias would always repeat the Wunderwunsch and the Meisterschaft with German accents. So
We can call him
okay.
the Meister.
Okay. Apparently we're just stupids.
Yeah, it's pretty much like in English, it's like the championship and the champion. So the Meister and the Meisterschaft. With this little German excursion, we go into a tiny little break and load into map number 2. Don't go anywhere. We're back with map number 2 in XlorD versus Neutron. Both players are ready to go. We're just waiting for the admin to start things. Can Neutron turn this around, or will the Meister make it a 2-0?
Yeah, I was honestly kind of worried for XlorD in that game. He was pressuring fairly well. He killed off some archers, but it was still a fast expansion, and his levels were certainly lacking behind. But it seemed like when he came in with the push, he had everything he needed. He had the statues, of course, which are so important for the sustain. He had the A-bomb with the disease cloud, the ghouls as well, and even managed to get the expansion kill there. That's a strategy that Moon has been able to play really well, but boy oh boy is it not easy to play. You have to position your army perfectly at all times. The heroes and the archers. Ideally, you want to have them protected by some kind of building wall as well. It is very hard to pull off. I feel like I see more and more Night Elves fail with it, and that was the loss for Neutron. We move on to map 2, which is Concealed Hill.
Alrighty. We're setting things up, and then wait. There we go. Let's move in to Concealed Hill.
So what are we going to see this time? Is it the demon again? I always felt like Neutron fares better with the Keeper first. Of course, depends on what strategy he currently fancies as being strong. If he wants to go mass archers, doing that with Keeper probably will not work out. You will not have time to level your second hero, and you need the mana burn to pull off that strategy. Otherwise, the undead heroes just completely overwhelm you. I think this map is actually pretty good for the mass archer strat because of the layout of the expansion. You're going to go over to the natural if you do want to expand, of course, not into the middle. And there's a lot of open space, which may not be the grass for archers, but you can place buildings there pretty smartly. Maybe an Ancient of War, maybe a shop, maybe a Moonwell. You need to protect these archers. It's the worst feeling ever when you're out in the open, you're having a bad time in the fight, then you have to fall back, you get chased, and Nova and Cold Air and everything. Suddenly everything dies. It's a really volatile strategy. And Neutron is starting off again with the Demon Hunter. Will he do this once more, or is he going to finally move into Dryads and Bears?
I really think that last game, the biggest thing that XlorD achieved with the harass was delaying the expansion. Like, of course, he delayed the creeping and he prevented a lot of it, but that expansion just... The tree moved to the expo, and then it just kind of stood there on its own for a while before he finally started creeping that camp. So that was just very well done, and then that allowed him to hit that tier 3 timing with 50 supply, with Lich Third, with Orb, before Neutron really could get enough units to be able to hold on more comfortably against this, or just hold on at all. And after that, he was just really far ahead, because once you kill the expo and you're on one base against one base, you have Tri-Hero, you're doing pretty damn good.
This is a good opening, by the way. So it's a different opening build here by XlorD, not just going with fast DK and skeleton creeping, but rather doing so with ghouls. Makes sense. On this map, you can try to creep the first cap with only skeletons, but a Wisp Detonate could be very painful. In fact, XlorD is looking for that Wisp Detonate right away. Demon Hunter does come over. He's going to throw out some burns. Again, didn't find damage, only the ring. Valuable later. Not so helpful, perhaps, in the early stages.
Yeah, and XlorD techs right in front of Neutron's Demon Hunter here. He sees the Nerubian Tower being made. So yeah, XlorD with an entirely different build. Obviously, this is a map where you have fountains, you got drakes that can be killed easily by gargoyles. But we've seen gargoyles kind of fall flat on its face at times, sometimes when it's used. It seems like a lot of elves. You know, I told you last time about those French elves. They really hate playing as gargoyles. They think it's like the craziest, hardest thing to face. But it seems like the top players, they don't worry or care about it as much. So curious to see if we'll see something like that. And yeah, the expo in the top left this time gets found very quickly. It feels like if XlorD really wanted to here, he could get the cancel, but if he goes there and Neutron is in position, it's not sure that he would get it.
Yeah, exactly. It's a big risk to take. If this was a straight up ghoul opening and he had like 7 ghouls right now, he could easily do it. But with only 5, it is pretty much unreliable. And then, of course, it would also cost a lot of lumber. So he decides to leave it up. And as you said, it was a really early scout. He saw it on like 200 HP or something. But XlorD still feels it's wiser to just leave that be, get his macro going, get his late game going, and keep on harassing. Now he's level 2. Now he's got the aura. And the goal, I think, is again pretty similar to map 1. Don't allow the expansion to be crept too easily, and don't allow the Demon Hunter to level up too quickly.
This Knight looking for some kills in the main base here. There's some Moonwell juice to use to make sure Neutron can keep everything alive. He's swapping the wisps in and out of the gold mine here. And we don't have a second creep here from XlorD, yeah, so it might just be standard again. I mean, he looked really good last game with it. I feel like XlorD has he has very good builds. Like, he doesn't really have much weaknesses, to be honest. He reads the game well. He's got good build orders. He's got excellent micro. And that's why he's one of the best in Europe. Maybe only Happy is like a little bit better at everything, I guess, especially micro.
Yep. I guess that goes kind of for everyone. Tree of Life now finished. XlorD knows about the timing. He could go for a Naga second and then pressure just with the Naga and maybe one Fiend. Oh, but speaking of Fiends, we have none of those. It's only Ghouls. Fast tier 3, and XlorD will look to go for a quick frenzy push then later with a few statues perhaps. So he definitely expects the mass archers again. Against mass archers, Ghouls do pretty damn well. Should it be Dryads, he would have a very tough time, and I'm surprised he's heavily committing, so heavily in fact, to the Ghouls. He's coming in now with the Naga, bringing them already, bringing a lot of them. Is he gonna be in time for the creep jump?
Oh my god, Neutron has no second hero. He might have to taunt Polo out of there. If he tries to run away, he's just gonna lose so many archers here against that Naga. And the creeps, oh my god, this made you over early. Detonates, hits a bunch of the skeletons. There is no dust actually. But the tree can be targeted easily. He can shadow melt the archers and save most of them. Tier 2 just finished from Neutron. He can get a second hero. He needs to get it right now. On the other side of the map. And I believe that tree will be going down.
Yeah, no Wisp Repair anymore. He has a bit of regen from eating his trees. But it's not enough. Creep Camp still doing good damage. Ouch! Only saving grace here is that XlorD doesn't have a dust, but everything else is looking disastrous.
I think if he had a dust, we already would be out of this game. Because all of these archers would have died. But yeah, now the Naga comes in from Neutron, but it's too late. The tree's dead. And even though he's killed a bunch of the ghouls here, XlorD is going to be able to get out with both of his heroes, still some of the ghouls left over, and he's got tier 3 well on the way by now.
Neutron in a super rough position now. It's not even like he can transition into Dryads or Bears easily. He invested so much into that expansion. Not just the tree itself, but also repair. And a lot of time, and Archers died for it as well, and that tree didn't even finish. In the meantime, XlorD is going to reach tier 3 here very soon. He lost some ghouls himself. His supply count isn't that high, but he's going to get big upgrades soon regardless. With the Lich, the Orb, and Frenzy.
Look at his Demon Hunter inventory, by the way. Oh, sorry, the Naga with the 2 rings. There is not enough space for 2 ring masters in this town.
Yeah, rings all over the place. At least the demon got level 3, so that is something. Draining a lot of mana over here, I suppose that's what he has to do. Neutron needs to take some risks. Take a red camp, steal a camp away from the opponent, something like that. If he just plays this straight up, it's looking utterly hopeless.
Yeah, maybe just stay tier 2 here, because you don't have the economy of going tier 3 since he lost the Expo and he had to use a lot of Wisps, and he then had to replay, so he's getting the Ancient of Wind now. I really would have liked to see a double staff last game, because then he could have let his demon tank a lot of the damage in the fights, double staff it out and then back in. I think that's really something that was missing if you're going to play that style. Double Ancient of Wind. He saw that there was no Fiend and a lot of ghouls, so he might just go into Hippos. And then just play the Mass Air style with Demon Naga.
Okay, that can work. Of course, it's not off to a good start this game. But yeah, if there's not enough anti-air, that can possibly overwhelm. And at the moment, still, XlorD doesn't have all of his upgrades. The Orb and the Frenzy. And the Lich. Right, soon to be finished. Here is now the 3rd hero Lich. Picks up the Orb. Frenzy did just finish, and now XlorD suddenly becomes a lot stronger. Can threaten surrounds here as well. Certainly, that Archer is definitely a goner. And Neutron stayed on this side of the map a little too long.
These are some fast ghouls. Lich with Orb is there, and that's going to be a taunt pole on the demon. Maybe, if he chases. He's coming back in. What? Oof. Oh my god.
Brave
a gambling man.
The player's forces are under attack.
I think XlorD hasn't scouted the tree position in the north yet, but certainly knows it's definitely a viable option. Perhaps even likely. So, creeping that Rock Golem camp here first gets him level 3 and a big consumable, and then it might be time to go up north. How good are these Hippo Riders going to be?
Yeah, I mean, there is already 2 other heroes that can hit hair in the Lich and Naga, and he could just give the Orb to the Death Knights to also hit hair. So it doesn't feel like this is going to be like the crazy game-saving transition for Neutron as he would like it to be. Look, Demon is already out of hit points. And he only has 3 Moonwells, and only one of those has juice. He's going to have to use all of it in the middle of daylight. So it's not even going to replenish here for a while.
At least he's got a shop. Gonna need that for heal pots, but man, this army is not looking scary. Slight mistake by XlorD. He was supply stuck for a long time. He didn't make that 4th Ziggurat quickly enough, but still, even though only 40 supply, this is looking scary. These ghouls absolutely shredding the wisps. Air cannot be touched by them, but the ground certainly can. The Demon Hunter feels the pain right away, getting coiled, and as we saw, there's not much healing for him. Neutron can take a fight. Yeah, the Hippogriffs, or the Hippo Riders, that is, can attack, but they never had much attack damage to begin with. We see it here.
Yeah, against Unholy Aura and statues, like you need so much firepower to actually kill the units effectively. And by the way, this timing hits as the Expo started literally like mining. The very second it did. Naga being taken down, there's no staff on the Demon. Can he get it? Oh! Doesn't quite get it with the last shot from the Lich here. Neutron still has a potion of health and an invuln on the Demon. He's trying to go for the Lich. There's no Death Coil available. I don't think
Out
he's
of
going to
nowhere, perhaps there's an opening to be able to get this kill, but he's going to trade it for the Naga. Level 1 traded versus level 2. The Orb is also out of the fight now, though. But another surround! Whew, that was close. Pops the invul right away and trying to take out the statues now. Neutron, he has, well, still a bit of a chance here. There's hardly any anti-air now available to XlorD, but still lots of ghoul damage against this Tree of Life.
Yeah, there's only 2 wisps around the Expo here helping out with this. There's only so many hippos. They can't do that much. He's trying to go for the ghouls here. Some of the firepower that's trying to take out those of the tree. One of the hippo falls. He's got 5 now.
Wow. He's holding though. Somehow he's holding. The Naga should be coming back soon. She was restarted. Oh, only now. Forgot about it for a minute or so. A little less.
XlorD is on 2 crypt, by the way. 2 crypt fiends. So he's gonna get a ton of fiends to counter this. I think this is the right play.
Damn. But that Neutron was able to hold. Very impressive. I thought he was dead to rights. Absolutely.
If he's given a little bit of air and he can clear the fountain, which should be very easy with Archer and Hippos, might be able to come back in this game, but I can't think that XlorD would give him any time here. Especially as the Lich is back out and he's still got a strong army here. 45 supply. He takes all of the ghouls. He's not even mining wood anymore. Okay, he's gonna leave 1.
Does he have web? Yes, he does. Okay, that's of course crucially important. And here comes the next attack. XlorD was pushed back, but not for long. Demon, is he going to start this camp? If he does, he's going to have a rude awakening over this expansion. No.
The
just
Meister. He's marching forward. Neo asked if he could go for the 2-0. The real question is, can he 5-0? With Happy in the group. That would be pretty hard, but he's looking pretty damn good in that first match here. Demon Hunter coming in. Naga is still not back yet, but he's having to fight regardless because he got caught.
Yeah, the web is absolutely shredding these air units. No micro potential at all. They're just stuck there. The Lich might be falling again, but actually there was a mana potion on the DK. 1 coil only, but that one was crucial. The Naga is back, only to once again make her way to the grave. Oh, nice invul transfer. She survives, but the game is still over. GG. 2-0 for the Meister.